Alrighty, welcome back and thank you guys for joining us. He is there for families across Monroe County when they need him the most, and he's on call 24/7. Joining us in studio today is Monroe County Coroner Alan Gurley and my personal friend. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing great. It's just such a joy to wake up every morning and be able to see your smiling face.
Well,
I'm so proud of you.
I woke him up early this morning. I messaged him at 4 o'clock to make sure he was still coming in studio. But we kind of have a lot to get to. So I really wanted to first talk to me about how you chose to get into this career, because for someone who's not in it, it just seems like something very random. So how did you get into this career, and talk about how long you've been in the career?
Well, actually, coming out of high school, I wanted to be in communications.
Okay.
Probably I was radio, never was that interested in TV, but Jim Ellis was my mentor, still at Mississippi State, and started broadcasting games, went to school to do that, working in a radio station, and something happened that there was a funeral home job open in Aberdeen.
Okay.
And I decided to make the move, and I went into the funeral business, and the police department was there next door. I got to hanging around there, and so I got into law enforcement, and it kind of blended together. And when I ended up working for the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, the coroner at that time was a chief deputy.
Okay.
And he was going to retire, and so I got to riding with him.
So it was like a natural segue.
And, yeah, just I felt like I was experienced with dealing with the grieving people, and I knew that was such a big part of the job.
Yeah. And then how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for 32 years as a coroner. I started in funeral business in 1979, actually, but 92 was my first year in office.
And if I'm correct, you told me the other day you're like one of the longest standing chief deputy coroners, correct?
Right. I am, as of this year, after the last election, the coroner in Yazoo County, Ricky Shivers, and I started at the same time in 1992. So we're starting our 9th term. We're tied up. We're running a race there to see who's going to be the longest. But he and I both went in at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay, so when people hear the word coroner, obviously they think of death. So talk to me about how you are really there for families during such a time of need.
Well, that's true. I've spent a lot of my time trying to educate the public, as most coroners have, as to what the job of the coroner is, which is the county death investigator.
Yeah.
They always say, well, you come out and pronounce somebody dead. Actually, we don't do that. A medical person, usually a hospice nurse, a doctor at the hospital, some other kind of EMT, paramedic, they're the people who actually pronounce death. The law says once death is determined, the coroner must be notified immediately.
Gotcha.
So that's usually when I get to a home, a lot of hospice deaths. We have a lot of hospice deaths, and when we get to a house, usually I immediately talk to the family. I like to find out a little bit about the person. If it's not somebody I know, I love to walk around the house and just look at family pictures and kind of get a personal sense of the person, of what they did in life. And a lot of people I'm going to know, but a lot of people I don't know. And to me, that helps me talk with the families, knowing a little bit about the person. Is when you go in there. And then, of course, we find out what funeral home the family request, and I notified them, and the funeral home comes out, and they kind of take over. But obviously, we're responsible to determine the cause and manner of death of the person. So we get the medical information if we have it. If not, we're out on the scene trying to gather other ways.
All right, well, me and Alan are going to talk about a lot more. Stay with us after the break.